Hello, hello, hello. I just got back from an errand and I learned a really interesting manifestation lesson. It was super fun yesterday. I was thinking about the German Christmas markets and I found a funny video of two gophers yelling at each other in German. And the gophers are talking about what is that mulled wine that they have? Glühwein? And then I was thinking, you know what would be awesome? Doner kebabs, schnitzel, Spätzle, the German dumplings. That's what I was thinking about yesterday. And when I went to the store, I picked up a container of chicken soup. I think it was chicken pot pie soup specifically, which made me wonder what's in this. And I look at the ingredients and it says Spätzle right there. So I was thinking, why can't manifesting money be just as easy as manifesting Spätzle, chicken dumpling, soup? And for me personally, it's the narrative that it's got to be hard. There's so much out there to do with working hard for the money, hardship, hard times, etc., etc. And for me, that's the running narrative that really trips me up. And something that I have been considering from A Course in Miracles is that there is no order of difficulty in miracles. What if there is no order of difficulty in manifestations and the difficulty is what we assign according to our conditioning? That money has to be harder than Spätzle, chicken dumplings. Am I pronouncing it correctly? For me, yes, that is the case. And I know I can manifest money. I've done it before several times. I had my first $100,000 when I was 18. Actually, when I was 17. And I got it in my hands, the check in my hands by the time I was 18. And with my first corporate job, I remember I really wanted to work for a very specific company. And luck would have it, a friend of mine and her aunt invited me to go to a public swimming pool one day, and we drove past that company. I looked over and I started thinking, you know what? I'm just going to walk through those doors, see what happens. So I drove into the garage. I went up the elevator, popped right out, and a security guard spotted me and asked what I was doing there. I told the security guard, I'm here for a job. And the next thing I know, this man pops out of the elevator, and the security guard says to the man, she's here to see you. And I don't know who he is. He introduces himself to me, and he tells me that he works for the office of the CIO as the head recruiter. That's how I got my first job. I'm not kidding you. I remember him saying to the security guard, is this what you do for work? You chat with pretty ladies or something like that? So I know that money can manifest spontaneously, and I know I can be really good at it. The really tricky, challenging thing is to chill out, to relax, and then it comes. It's like that whole Abraham Hicks thing. The step one is the asking, the wanting, the creating intentions, journaling furiously, vision boarding, blah, blah, blah. And then step two is the receptivity part. So a lot of people have a hard time getting into the receptivity part if they have past conditioning that dysregulates them and puts them into a state of stress response, fight, flight, freeze, freaking out about survival, freaking out about past experiences. One of my teachers and mentors taught me that there's no such thing as fear of the unknown. You're actually projecting your concerns about what has already transpired in the past into the future. So you're actually anticipating an event, an experience that you don't want to have happen, that you've already experienced before, or you already know it's possible from whatever other example that you may have witnessed and learned from, which then became a part of your conditioning. And now you are projecting that in the present moment into the future. And therefore, it is dysregulating you, it is stressing you out, and it's causing you to repeat patterns of thought, feeling, behavior, action that are perpetuating an experience that you don't want to have, that you want to get out of, and you're trying to get out of. That's why you're in step one, but you're not getting out of step one because you keep repeating. And so you have to allow your awareness of what's going on to put you into observer mode so that you can pause, watch, bring in a compassionate, self supportive response, and respond from an empowered stance. Respond from regulation as best as you can. Because once you choose a different response, then you disrupt the pattern that's popping up and reenacting whatever experience it may be playing out in your present moment that you don't want to have anymore. That is the really tricky bit, and it's psychosomatic. It involves both your mind and your body, not only just your mind and your body. This is an entire mind, body, heart, and soul effort. Once you get harmonized in mind, body, heart, and soul, then you have least resistance and maximal flow. That is really key. You can't just figure it out with your head and read more books and watch more YouTube videos. You have to allow yourself to feel and flow with the feelings. You also have to allow yourself to connect to source with a capital S. And you have to allow yourself to open up your heart space and not close it up for whatever reason. If you have any reason to close up your heart space, that's conditioning. That's what you need to heal. And then when you have all four harmonized, that puts you into the flow state, the alpha brainwave state, the theta brainwave state, that then triggers and catalyzes synchronistic events, and you start getting signs, and you start getting instantaneous manifestations, and you start getting confirmation via whatever shift in perception occurs. A Course in Miracles defines a shift in perception as a miracle. A miracle is a shift in perception. What happens when your perception shifts? Then, when your perception shifts, you see things differently, you experience reality differently. You then are able to think, feel, be, respond, behave, act differently, and therefore trigger and catalyze, alchemize a different experience of reality. That went pretty woo. That's what I have to share with you today. Thanks so much for popping on this video. Y'all are so wonderful.